Yes, dear students, Salam Alaikum. In the last few lessons, we saw how to differentiate the functions using the definition. We cannot always use the definition, so we need to differentiate using the formulae. Now, today we'll do two sets of formulae. The first set has six formulae, kind of. Now, the second set can be very large. I'll explain to you after explaining these six in the first set. See, the derivative of a constant function is 0. By constant function, we mean y equal to f of x equal to c, where c is any real number, negative, positive, big, small, or even 0. So this we have seen by definition. Now we have to remember it as a thumb rule. Now when you multiply a function with a constant, again c is any real number. So this c comes out and you just differentiate. You can write it in the short form. Cu whole prime is c times u prime. This you can infer from the definition of the derivative, the limit definition. Now, in mathematics, we have four basic operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Now, there are some grammatical words. When it is addition, we use the word sum of two functions. Difference means we are subtracting, plus and minus. So, if you have addition and subtraction, the steps are very similar in almost all of mathematics, except in the chapter on logarithms. Otherwise, addition and subtraction, the procedure is very similar. So derivative of u plus and minus v plus or minus v is equal to derivative of the u plus or minus derivative of v. If it is plus, carry on with the plus. If it is minus, carry on with the minus. We can again write it in the short form: u plus or minus v whole prime equal to u prime plus or minus v prime. Next comes the multiplication, and the grammar is product of two functions u and v. So we do the derivative of product of two functions is derivative of the first function into second function plus first function into derivative of the second function. uv whole prime is equal to u prime v plus uv prime. This comma is called prime. Quotient means we are going to divide. Quotient of two functions is u divided by v. U is in the numerator, v is in the denominator. So the rule is v into derivative of u minus u into derivative of v whole divided by v square. Now when you are multiplying the two functions, the formula is smaller and there is a plus. When you are dividing, it is minus. So uv whole prime is u prime v minus uv prime whole divided by v square. Remember the minus and the division by v square. Next is chain rule. When the argument of the function is not x but it is something different. We'll do this chain rule in detail separately. I have just written it here for completeness. Now in mathematics, there are hundreds of functions. We have to remember the functions which are important, which we need in our physics classes, in our math classes, and in our engineering classes. Now the first function is n into x power n. Now this will come in a pair. X power n, u power n. I'll explain to you in detail why it comes in pair. Now there are six trigonometric functions. Your trigonometry is related to the angles in the triangle and the sides in the triangle. Now the triangle has three sides. If you take a right angle triangle, you'll have three sides: A, B, C. The biggest side has some name, don't worry about it. We'll get six ratios. How? A by C, B by C. C by A, C by B. A by B, B by A. You'll get six ratios and they have six names. Don't have to worry much about the trigonometry. I'll explain as and when we need any part of trigonometry. A good course of trigonometry is for the full semester. We don't need it. So the first function is sine function. The derivative of sine is cosine. We only write the first three letters. We don't have to write all the four. So derivative of sine x is cos x. Now this column has the name. This column is the special case u equal to x and u prime equal to x prime equal to 1. The derivative of x is 1. We have seen it before somewhere. Derivative of x is equal to 1. Now what happens? Sometimes you have a power of a function. So you do n u power n minus 1 du by dx. If u equal to x, u prime equal to 1, so this du by dx becomes 1 and there's a 1 sitting here, there's a 1 here, there's a 1 here, there's a 1 here. It is not visible, there is no need to write 10 into 1 equal to 10, so we do not keep writing 1 again and again. But here this du by dx is very important. If it is not 1, we have to take care of it. Now x power n is n into x power n minus 1, u power n is n into u power n minus 1 du by dx. Now if it is sine x, the derivative is cosine x. We have seen it using the definition. But if it is sine 2x or sine 3x, so what you do is derivative of sine u is cos u into du by dx. This du by dx you can write on the left or on the right. In this table I have written it on the right. In some questions we'll write it on the left also. Derivative of cosine is minus sine. Cos x transfers to minus sine x. Cos u will also on differentiation will give you minus sine u, but du by dx is there. Please remember in the last column you will be multiplying with du by dx in all of them without exception. So sine goes to cosine, cosine goes to minus sine, tangent goes to secant square, cotangent goes to cosecant square. Now with the minus, CSC, cosecant square. Now derivative of secant x is secant x tan x. Derivative of cosecant x is minus cosecant x cot x. Now these minuses should not be confusing to you. Look, cosine starts with c, so there is a minus. Cotangent starts with c, so there is a minus. Cosecant starts with c, so there is a minus. So just remember the minus comes for cosine, cot and cosecant. Cot means cotangent. For the other three, they don't start with C and they are plus. Same thing happens here, except that you have to multiply with du by dx. So these were your trigonometric function. 2 to 7 were trigonometric function, which we have seen in detail. Now these two pairs, 7 and 8, come together. Sorry, 8 and 9. 8 and 9 are the exponential function and the logarithmic function. They are interrelated. How? We'll see it. Derivative of exponential x is e power x. This is a very special function. When you differentiate, you get back the same function. If you differentiate sine, you get cosine. If you differentiate cosine, you get minus sine. But if you differentiate the exponential function, you get back the same function. Again here, e power u, you will get e power u back, but you have a du by dx. Now this is natural logarithm, we write ln. So derivative of ln x is 1 over x. It is natural logarithm ln. Now there are 6 trigonometric functions and there are 6 inverse functions. Sine inverse is also called arc sine. Cos inverse is called arc cosine. Tan inverse arc tan. Cot inverse arc cot. Secant inverse is arc secant. Cosecant inverse is arc cosecant. Now these are the derivatives. Derivative of sine inverse x is 1 divided by square root of 1 minus x square. Derivative of cosine inverse is minus 1 over 1 minus x square. Same thing happens here. The two are very similar and they just differ by a minus sign. Derivative of tan inverse x is 1 over 1 plus x square. Derivative of cot inverse is minus 1 over 1 plus x square. Those of you who have done trigonometry and your school geometry in detail we'll know why they are so similar. Derivative of secant inverse x is 1 divided by absolute value of x into square root of x square minus 1. See, by absolute value we mean the mutlaq. We take only the positive part. And derivative of cosecant inverse is minus 1 over absolute value of x square minus 1. Please remember, we get minus sign for cos inverse, cot inverse and cosecant inverse. Other three we do not get. Same thing which happened for the functions, same thing happens for the inverse. Here for cos you get the minus sign, for cot you get the minus sign, for cosecant you get the minus sign. Now please do not get confused between different functions, because it is square root of 1 minus x square here, here it is square root of x square minus 1. See, sine, cosine, tangent, cotangent, secant, cosecant. That is the logical order for writing them. We'll see. There are many functions. We'll stop at these 15 functions in this course, in this semester. These functions are more than sufficient for understanding calculus, many areas of physics. If you see a new function like a hyperbolic function or a Bernoulli function or Basel function or some other function, take help of a handbook. Handbook is like a dictionary which has lot of formulae. The handbook has hundreds of functions. You have to remember these 15 functions. These are very important. The most important is written first and the least important is written last. Memorize these 15 functions with understanding, with the plus and the minus and du by dx where required. Rest of the semester, half of the semester we did without these formulae. Second half we have to do everything with this formula. All your exams will need these formulae. All your assignments will need these formulae. So please memorize these formulae, print it, put it on the wall in your house. You can remove it after the exam. Put it on the door. Put it anywhere in the house where you can see it again and again. Keep it on your table. Take a piece of paper, write it 5 times with seeing and without seeing till you get all of them into your memory. Without these formulae, calculus 1 will be difficult and you will be needing these 15 formulae in calculus 1, calculus 2, calculus 3, differential equations and engineering mathematics, and some applied math courses also. So these 15 formulae are the most important for you. So try to memorize them. All of you are young people, and if you have any difficulty, discuss with me in the class. And again, I'm telling you, go to my channel and go to this derivative calculator, play with this website. It will help you in many ways. Any questions, ask me in the class. See you in the class soon. Thank you.